Hi yogis, welcome to this gentle yoga. The next 30 minutes will be a full body stretch from head to toe. Begin in an easy seat, roll your shoulder blades back and find a tall spine. Begin with some neck rolls, moving slowly with your eyes closed in one direction. And then after a few rolls, you could switch it up. Just observing your breath and how you feel in this moment as you take these nice and slow head rolls. Now is a good time to switch directions if you haven't yet. And then we'll come back to center when you're ready. Place your left fingertips on the mat beside you. Inhale your right hand up and over, reaching for the opposite ear. And then pull right ear to right shoulder, creating space in the left side of your neck. Closing your eyes and tuning into the stretch here. And then we'll just switch it out, coming back through center. Left arm reaches up and over for the opposite ear. And just gently guiding that head in the opposite direction to open up space along your neck and collarbone. And come back to center when you're ready. The left hand will come up and over, elbow pointed towards the sky and hand tracing down your back. And then just use that right hand to push gently into the elbow, deepening the stretch in your tricep. Pushing your hand toward the earth. And you could release the stretch and pull that same arm across your body, guiding it using the right arm. Opening up the shoulder blades, the back body. And then just switch it out. So right hand comes up and over, finding that tricep stretch on the opposite side. Left hand will just gently guide that elbow towards the back of the room. And again, just releasing that stretch and guiding that right arm across your body. And you can come back to center. And to transition to your knees, coming into a high kneeling position. Hands on the hips. Squeeze your glutes and send your hips through. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, open your heart to the sky, look up. On your exhale, just sink your hips back and hinge forward, drawing that third eye center space between your eyebrows to the earth. On your next inhale, rise back up. Open up the heart once more. And then exhale, same thing, fold forward and connect your third eye center with the earth. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, rise up, open your heart to the sky. Exhale, ground down, connect with the earth. Your next inhale, rise back up to your knees. Kick out your right leg, grounding your foot into the earth. Left hand meets the mat. And then inhale the right hand up and over, finding a full body stretch from fingers to toes. Maybe rolling out your wrist, looking up at the sky. And then we'll take some arm sweeps, bringing that hand forward, down, and around like you're strumming a guitar. Let's do that 3 times now. And let's reverse the circle for 3 rotations. The third sweep will bring you back up to that kneeling position. And we can swap out legs. This time our left leg is going to kick out to the side. Right hand will plant on the mat. Left arm sweeps up and over, again rolling out that wrist. Breathing into our side body, creating space and length here. And then again, we'll take those arm sweeps, 3 in one direction, like you're strumming that guitar. And then reverse it the other way. Nice and big, like you're painting a moon in the sky. And the third sweep will take you back up to your knees. You can plant your hands in front of you, coming into tabletop position. Stacking wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll find 3 cat-cows here. On your inhale, you find cow, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin for cat. Do that twice more. Moving with the breath. And then we'll just turn the fingertips to face outward, heels of the hands face in, and do 3 more cat-cows here. Staying connected with your breath, taking any movements in your body that feel good and organic to you. And then we'll spin the hands so the fingertips face your knees, and taking 3 more cat-cows here. Last one, the fingertips will face inward, heels of the hands facing the edges of your mat. Again, 3 more cat-cows, moving at your own pace. And you can spin your fingertips back to neutral. Inhale the left hand up to the sky. Exhale, thread it through for thread the needle. You can extend your right arm out in front of you or take it up and around, reaching for your opposite hip crease for that bind. Let your left cheek rest upon the mat. Close your eyes and breathe into this gentle twist. Bring that right hand back underneath your shoulder blade. Lift up, reaching the fingertips back to the sky, and let's switch it out. This time, inhale, sweep the right fingertips high. Exhale, thread the needle. You can take the same variation on this side. They're reaching for the top of your mat or wrapping around your hand for that bind. And that left hand will come back and plant underneath your shoulder. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, place it back down to the earth. From here, begin to walk your hands forward towards the top of your mat. Send your hips through and find Cobra. You can bend your elbows here as deeply as you'd like. Maybe taking a baby Cobra with your stomach still resting on the mat. Or extending up as much as you'd like. On your exhale, send it back to Child's Pose, taking the variation of choice. You can keep your knees together or send them outward towards the edges of your mat. On your next inhale, just sliding back into that Cobra. Maybe taking a little bit higher, straightening your arms a bit more. Open your heart. And then exhale, Child's Pose, taking the variation of choice. Maybe it's different than the first one. Really reaching those fingertips forward to create length in your spine. And inhale up to a tabletop position. From here, we'll step that right foot outside of the right hand. Coming into runner's lunge, you could stay up on your hands, drop down to your elbows, and even use that right arm to push your right knee away, just gently guiding it towards the knife edge of your foot. Whichever variation you want to take, find that now, and just find some release in it. We'll be here for a few more breaths. You can always take a new variation if you'd like. Nothing is permanent, everything is fluid. We'll meet back up on our hands, and then inhale the right arm open to the sky. This low lunge twist. Maybe bring your gaze up towards your fingertips. And begin to reach your arm back, maybe coming up to your fingertips, and kick your heel towards your glute, finding that quad stretch. If this doesn't feel good for you, you could just stay in the twisted low lunge. Gaze towards the back of your mat. And then release the quad stretch, heel toe your foot towards the center of your body. Inhale, sweep high, find Anjaneyasana, kneeling crescent. Pull that right hip back, send the left hip forward. And inhale to further open your heart to the sky, maybe finding a gentle back bend here as you send your hips through. Front knee is stacked directly over the front ankle. And on your next exhale, we'll find half splits extending through the front leg, sinking the hips towards the back of the mat. Work to pull that right hip back and send the left hip forward. Just a slight movement and you'll feel the stretch deepen. Really flex your front toes towards your face. You can rebend your front knee and then just step back into tabletop. From here, we'll crawl forward into that Cobra. Or maybe you decide to lift your quads off the earth and take upward facing dog. And then on the exhale, we'll find Child's Pose, grounding that third eye center into the mat. And inhale back to tabletop. From here, we'll just switch it out. Step that left foot outside of the left hand, coming into runner's lunge, taking your variation of choice. Could be the same exact thing you did on the other side, or you could take a different variation. You may notice the side of your body feeling quite different than the other. Go to wherever feels comfortable for you. As you're ready, we'll meet back up on our hands and inhale the left fingertips up to the sky, finding a twist in this lunge. And then you can come up to your right fingertips, reach your left hand behind you as you kick your heel to your glute, and find that quadricep stretch. Again, if this doesn't feel good for you, you can just stay in that twisted kneeling lunge. Release your back foot as you're ready. Heel toe your foot to the center of your body. Frame your foot with your hands. And then we'll sweep the arms high, coming back into Anjaneyasana. Squaring off your hips towards the front of your mat. And maybe opening up into that gentle back bend again. Inhaling your heart open to the sky. Drawing your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe gaze comes up to the ceiling. Breathing into this hip flexor stretch. And then exhale, straighten through your front leg. Find half splits. Again, trying to square off your hips, really drawing that left hip back, right hip forward. Flexing your toes back towards your body. And keep breathing. Keep sending oxygen throughout your body. You can always take a bend in your knee if that feels better. And then we'll refine that lunge. Step back into tabletop. Crawl our way into Cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, send it back for child's pose. Inhale, come back through tabletop. Tuck your toes and send it high for downward facing dog. Take some time to really pedal into your feet, walking your dog here, taking any other movements that come naturally to you, maybe swaying from side to side, or taking one knee at a time across your body. You have another breath to play around here, and then we'll find our static downward facing dog. Go ahead and find stillness. And then let's take right ankle over the left ankle for a calf stretch, really letting that left heel drop towards the mat. And switch it out, left ankle crosses over the right. Still pushing into your hands equally, sending your ribcage towards your thighs. And you can release the calf stretch. Inhale, left heel up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot steps outside of the left hand. Keep the back knee lifted and just rock forward and backwards off of the back toe. For 3 times here. When you are ready, spin that back heel down and find Skandasana or low side lunge, adjusting your stance as needed. You can come onto that heel and point your toes towards the sky, or keep that foot grounded and keep your hips high. Your hands can stay on the mat, or they can come to heart center and use your elbow to drive that left knee away. Here for a few breaths. We will all meet with our hands back down on the earth. Spin your toes down and then straighten through the front leg. The right arm lifts up to the sky, left fingertips stay grounded inside your left heel. Find triangle pose here. Gaze can go up towards the ceiling. Straighten through both legs. Spin your heart open towards the side of your mat. Keeping your legs the same, on your next inhale, rise up and reverse your triangle, bringing that left arm overhead, right arm down the back of your leg. In your next breath, travel towards the top of your mat, meeting in mountain. Arms raised, inhale. Exhale, drop the hands to heart center. Close your eyes and reground yourself here, noticing your breath and how your body feels. If any thoughts or worries come into your mind right now, just exhale them away. Inhale your hands back to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. We'll find Ragdoll Pose here. You're taking a generous bend in your knees, reaching for opposite elbows, and then letting our upper body hang and sway from side to side. Plant your hands back to the earth. We'll step back into plank pose. Drop the knees to the mat. Lower halfway, finding a tricep push-up. Inhale, find Cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, meet in downward facing dog. Inhale the right heel high, three-legged dog. Then exhale, right foot steps outside of the right hand. Again, taking 3 rocks backward and forward off of the back toe. And when you're ready, spin that back heel down. Maybe heel toeing your right foot to the center of your body, and then dropping into Skandasana or low lunge. Taking your variation of choice here. Left foot can stay grounded, or the heels can point up towards the sky, letting your hips sink towards the mat. Ground your hands when you're ready. Spin your toes down to the earth and come up into that Chaturanga Pose, straightening through both legs. Left arm reaches towards the sky. Rising up onto your right fingertips with little to no weight in your bottom hand. Maybe bringing your gaze up towards the ceiling. Let your next breath carry you all the way up into a standing triangle, and exhale, reverse your triangle. Right arm reaches towards the back of the room. Inhale to come back through center, and then step into mountain at the front of your mat. Exhale those hands to heart center. Close your eyes, and maybe notice your heartbeat now. Tuning inward, noticing how you feel in this moment. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Take your variation of choice here, maybe taking a bind behind your low back, and then sending the bind towards the front of the room as you drop your chest towards your thighs. Bending your knees to whatever degree feels good for you. Release the bind if you took it. Plant your hands onto the earth and step back into plank. Drop your knees to the mat, and we'll lower halfway for a Chaturanga Push-Up. Inhale up, forward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, begin to walk your toes towards your hands, nice and slow. We'll meet in Malasana at the top of our mats, so stepping those feet wide of our hands, heels in, toes out, and let your hips drop in between your heels. You can use a pillow underneath your sit bones if you'd like, or keep your hands on the earth. Another option, you can take your hands to heart center and use your elbows to drive your knees away. See if you can open your chest straight in front of you, finding a long spine. Crown of the head pointed up towards the sky. And then use your hands behind you to guide yourself into a seated position, legs straight out in front of you. Maybe give them a good shake out. And inhale your arms straight up to the sky, seated Tadasana. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Bending your knees if you'd like. Maybe drawing nose to knees. Reaching for your heels, bottom of your foot, calves, whatever is accessible to you. We'll transition out of it the same way we came in. Your next breath, rise back up into seated Tadasana, arms reaching towards the sky. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly lower down onto your back, one vertebrae at a time. Stamp your feet on your mat, knees pointed up towards the ceiling. Cross your right ankle over your left quad. And then on your next inhale, just lift your hips off the earth, coming into a one-legged bridge pose. For 3, 2, 1, and drop it back down to the earth. This time lift your left foot off the mat, coming into a figure 4 stretch. Interlace your fingers behind your thigh. Maybe you can use your elbow to guide that right knee away from your body. Taking a few breaths here in this posture. And then you can let your legs fall towards the left side of your body. Tee out your arms. Finding a supine twist variation here. If it doesn't feel good, you can just uncross your legs and stack your knees. Keeping both shoulder blades on the mat. Maybe gaze can go towards the right fingertips. And inhale, come back to center. Stamp both feet back onto the mat, and we'll switch it out. This time the left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Inhale, lift the hips high, holding for 3, 2, 1, and drop it back down. Lifting the right foot off the earth, coming into figure 4 stretch. Diving into this hip flexor stretch, finding release in the posture. Let yourself wind down. Sending both legs over towards the right side of our body. Teeing out your arms, the gaze can go over the left shoulder. Make sure both shoulder blades stay planted on the earth. Inhale, come back to center, uncross your legs, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. You can wrap your arms around your shins and then just rock side to side, giving your low back a massage. Keeping your eyes closed. Then take your hands behind your thighs and begin to rock and roll the length of your spine. Building some momentum, taking yourself up to a seated position to close out class. Inhale, sweep your arms high, look up towards the ceiling, gathering positivity in the air around you. Exhale, hands to heart center, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. We'll bow our heads to seal our practice. Namaste.